Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam Stuti series. We'll continue with Kunti's prayers. Shloka number 27 of chapter 8, canto number 1. Namo Kinchana Vittaya
Namo Kinchana Vittaya
Nivritta Guna Vrittaye
Nivarta Guna Vrittaye
Atma Ramaya Shantaya
Atma Ramaya Shantaya
Kaivalyapataye Namaha.
Kaivalyapataye Namaha.
Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Namaha,
Namaha.
all obeisances unto you.
All obeisances unto you.
Akinchana Vittaya,
Akinchana Vittaya,
unto the property of the materially impoverished.
unto the property of the materially impoverished.
Nivritta,
Nivritta,
completely transcendental to the actions of the material modes.
completely transcendental to the actions of the material modes.
Guna,
Guna,
the material modes.
material modes.
Vrittaye,
Vrittaye,
affection.
affection.
Atma Aramaya,
Atma Aramaya,
one who is self-satisfied.
one who is self-satisfied.
Shantaya,
Shantaya,
the most gentle.
the most gentle.
Kaivalyapataye,
Kaivalyapataye,
unto the master of the monists.
unto the master of the monists.
Namaha,
Namaha,
bowing down.
bowing down.
Translation. My obeisances are unto you,
My obeisances are unto you,
who are the property of the materially impoverished.
who are the property of the materially impoverished.
You have nothing to do with the actions and reactions
You have nothing to do with the actions and reactions
of the material modes of nature.
the material modes of nature.
You are self-satisfied,
You are self-satisfied,
and therefore you are the most gentle
and therefore you are the most gentle
and are master of the monists.
and are master of the monists.
So Prabhupada writes a slightly lengthy purport. We'll read the purport quickly and then discuss it. Prabhupada writes, a living being is finished as soon as there's nothing to possess. Therefore, a living being cannot be, in the real sense of the term, a renouncer. A living being renounces something for gaining something more valuable. So, for example, we may renounce our time and energy to earn a living, but we're doing it to get something more valuable, which is wealth. A student sacrifices his childish proclivities to gain better education. So a child, as part of growing up, the tapasya that the child has to undertake is to study. So he has to give up his playing tendencies to begin studying. A servant gives up his job for a better job. Similarly, a devotee renounces the material world not for nothing, but for something tangible in spiritual value. That means if you want to possess the greatest spiritual love, then you have to give up all your material desires. Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and Srila Raghunatha Das Goswami and others gave up their worldly pomp and prosperity for the sake of the service of the Lord. They were big men in the worldly sense. The Goswamis were ministers in the government service of Bengal. And Srila Raghunatha Das Goswami was the son of a big zamindar of his time. But they left everything to gain something superior to what they previously possessed. The devotees are generally without material prosperity, but they have a very secret treasure house in the lotus feet of the Lord. So sweetly Prabhupada is saying the greatest treasure house for a devotee is the lotus feet of the Lord. Therefore, they don't worry about anything. There is a nice story about Srila Sanatana Goswami. he had a touchstone, and this stone was left in a pile of refuse. A needy man took it, but later on wondered why the valuable stone was kept in such a neglected place. He therefore asked Sanatana for the most valuable thing, and then he was given the holy name of the Lord. So this poor man thought, this mendicant has kept something very valuable in a garbage pile. That means he must have something even more valuable. And he goes and asks Sanatana Goswami, now why is it that you've kept this in a garbage pile? You must have something more valuable. At that time, Sanatana Goswami tells him, yes, I do have the most valuable thing in the world. And the man said, can I have it too? So Sanatana Goswami said, but you can only have it if you throw away that touchstone that you took. So the man, trusting Sanatana Goswami, throws away the touchstone and says, yes, I'm ready for the wealthiest thing that you possess. And at that time, Sanatana Goswami initiates him into the holy names of Akinchana means one who has nothing to give materially. A factual devotee or Mahatma does not give anything material to anyone because he has already left all material assets. He can, however, deliver the supreme asset, namely the personality of Godhead, because he is the only property of a factual devotee. That means in order to give something, you must possess it, right? How can you give something that you don't possess? That means only the pure devotees possess Krishna, and therefore they are able to give Krishna to others. The touchstone of Sanatana Goswami, which was thrown in the rubbish, was not the property of the Goswami. Otherwise, it would not have been kept in such a place. This specific example is given for the neophyte devotees just to convince them that material hankerings and spiritual advancement go ill together. Unless one is able to see everything as spiritual, in relation with the Supreme Lord, one must always distinguish between spirit and matter. A spiritual master like Srila Sanatana Goswami, although personally able to see everything as spiritual, set this example for us only because we have no such spiritual vision. That means you should be ready to become completely detached from everything that you possess. Even though you may be very wealthy, you should know that your greatest possession is the holy names of the Lord. Advancement of material vision or material civilization is a great stumbling block for spiritual advancement. So in his lecture in Los Angeles, Prabhupada says that the first qualification for a devotee is that he must be materially impoverished. He should possess nothing but Krishna. This is akinchana vidya. Such material advancement entangles the living being in the bondage of a material body, followed by all sorts of material miseries. Such material advancement is called anartha, which is giving up things that are not wanted. If you want Krishna, you can't want something else simultaneously. The two do not go together. If you really want to possess Krishna, you have to give up everything else. You have to give up your attachment to everything else. Actually, this is so. In the present context of material advancement, one uses lipstick at a cost of 50 cents. And there are so many unwanted things which are all products of material conception of life. By diverting attention to so many unwanted things, human energy is spoiled without achievement of spiritual realization, the prime necessity of human life. The attempt to reach the moon is another example of spoiling energy, because even if the moon is reached, the problems of life will not be solved. The devotees of the Lord are called akinchanas because they have practically no material assets. Such material assets are all products of the three modes of material nature. They foil spiritual energy. Foil means they frustrate spiritual energy, and thus, the less we possess such products of material nature, the more we have a good chance for spiritual progress. So we have to really simplify our lives, Prabhupada is saying. Don't possess too many things, because that means less time for Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no direct connection with material activities. All his acts and deeds, which are exhibited even in this material world, are spiritual. And without affection for the modes of material nature. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that all his acts, even his appearance and disappearance in and out of the material world, are transcendental. And one who knows this perfectly shall not take his birth again in this material world, but will go back to Godhead. Prabhupada says in his lecture that Krishna gives us full freedom. He says, okay, chalo, you want to enjoy? Enjoy yourself. You want this, you want that, you want something else, you want something better. Sure, go ahead. Take it and see for yourself whether you're really going to be happy. So Krishna wants you to come to the natural conclusion that chasing things, you are never happy. You always want something else. So Prabhupada talks about Krishna's stealing potency. Prabhupada says, if you have anything in your life, all of it belongs to Krishna. What belongs to you? Actually, the thought process is we are not renouncing anything, because in order to renounce something, you have to possess it first. But you're not the true proprietor. The true proprietor is Krishna. Your family members belong to Krishna. You belong to Krishna. Your assets are all coming from Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada talks about stealing. We are stealing Krishna's property and saying it is our own. And Prabhupada says, where do we get this tendency to steal? Because Krishna has a tendency to steal. But Krishna's stealing butter is very different from us stealing Krishna's property. So Prabhupada says, whatever Krishna does is sublime. It is absolute. When Krishna steals butter, we worship that particular pastime of the Lord. When we steal, we are the most condemned and abominable people in this world. So the material disease is due to hankering after and lording it over material nature. This hankering is due to an interaction of the three modes of nature. And neither the Lord nor the devotees have attachment for such false enjoyment. So anything material that you possess, it's not your true enjoyment. You are actually suffocating with all your material possessions. We are being suffocated. The strange thing is we don't understand it and we go chasing for some more suffocation. Therefore, the Lord and the devotees are called Nivritta Gunavritti. The perfect Nivritta Gunavritti is the Supreme Lord, because he never becomes attracted by the modes of material nature, whereas the living beings have such a tendency. Some of them are entrapped by the illusory attraction of material nature. Because the Lord is the property of the devotees, and the devotees are the property of the Lord reciprocally, the devotees are certainly transcendental to the modes of material nature. That is a natural conclusion. Such unalloyed devotees are distinct from the mixed devotees who approach the Lord for mitigation of miseries and poverty, or because of inquisitiveness and speculation. The unalloyed devotees and the Lord are transcendently attached to one another. For others, the Lord has nothing to reciprocate. Because if you're not giving anything to Krishna, what is he going to reciprocate with you? And therefore he is called Atmaram, self-satisfied. Self-satisfied as he is the master of all monists who seek to merge into the existence of the Lord. Such monists merge within the personal effulgence of the Lord, called the Brahma Jyoti. But the devotees enter into the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, which are never to be misunderstood as material. Prabhupada says in that lecture that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict about ever interacting with women. Yet, Mahaprabhu worshipped the gopis as the topmost. Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita. So, a person who keeps his distance from women as a sannyasi, even as a householder, he was so strict, yet he is worshipping the gopis as the topmost devotees of the Lord. This doesn't seem to be tallying in our mind. The gopis are all chasing Krishna, even though they are already married. That doesn't seem to tally logically for us. Prahlad Maharaj is watching his father being killed. Any good son, Prabhupada says, would protest and say, what are you doing? Please protect my father. How can you kill my father? This doesn't tally for us logically. No, Prahlad Maharaj was not protesting to the Lord. As he is watching the Lord kill his father Hiranyakashipu, he is holding a garland in his hand, ready to garland the Lord. And after his father is killed, what is the statement that Prahlad Maharaj makes? He says, no, now that he is killed, everybody is happy. So, this material attraction is like this snake or scorpion. In that particular lecture, Prabhupada says, great sages, rishis, sannyasis, pure devotees, mahatmas, they don't like the idea of any jivatma being harmed. And yet, if there is a snake or a scorpion, they would be happy to know that it was killed. Again, this doesn't tally with our logic. So we are a fool if we want material prosperity. What we really need is Krishna Bhakti. That is what we want. Otherwise, Prabhupada says we're just wasting our time. Paivalya Pataye Namaha. We only want Krishna. That is actually the mood of the pure devotees. They only want Krishna. They become so attached to Krishna, nothing else matters. Even if they have material possessions, those material possessions are like insignificant in the context of what they possess. The most valuable thing, as Sanatana Goswami said, the most valuable thing for me is chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Kunti Devi is saying, my dear Lord, you are the property of your pure devotees who are materially impoverished.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.